I watched her laugh across the courtyard, sunlight catching in her hair, turning it into something golden, untouchable. My stomach twisted. She doesn't even see me, I muttered to myself, slumping against the cold brick wall. You always say that, Mark said, nudging my shoulder. Maybe she just hasn't noticed you. I've been unnoticed since sophomore year, I shot back. I'm like furniture to her. Invisible. Mark chuckled. Furniture can't be heartbroken, though. I scowled. Funny. Not. She's with Josh again, Mark said quietly. I didn't need to look, he was right. Her laughter carried. Josh. That name felt like a punch. I clenched my fists. I wanted to shout, do you even see me, but I didn't. I never did. You ever think she'd notice you if you said something? Mark asked. His grin was teasing but cautious. Notice me? I laughed bitterly. Mark, I've carried her books when she forgot them. I've stayed up helping her with projects she didn't even thank me for. I even once stayed behind when everyone left the library just so she wouldn't be alone. My voice cracked, and I quickly swallowed it. And she smiled at Josh yesterday. Mark raised his eyebrows. You're a disaster, you know that. I'm not a disaster. I'm invisible. She's pretty. I get it. But come on, man. You talk to her sometimes, right? Sometimes. The word tasted like ash. I say hi. I offer homework help. And she nods. Smiles politely. And then she's gone. Like I was never even here. My eyes followed her across the courtyard. She didn't notice me. She would never notice me. Then maybe, you're too nice, Mark said slowly. People notice what they want to notice. Maybe she wants someone loud, someone flashy. I laughed, bitter but low. Flashing lights, loud voices, that's not me. It never was. I'm just me. Quiet. Waiting. Mark shook his head. Waiting won't get you anywhere. I've waited 5 years, I whispered. My hands tightened around my backpack strap. And I'll wait longer. Because she's worth it. Worth it? Mark sounded dubious. Man, she doesn't even see you as more than that guy in the corner. I know, I said softly, my throat tight. But maybe one day, maybe she'll see me. Really see me. Not just the quiet guy who helps with homework. Not the guy she smiles at politely. The real me. A laugh echoed nearby, hers. Light, careless, pulling at something deep inside me. I felt the familiar sting of longing, frustration, and something sharper, bitterness. I wanted to yell at her, I've been here. I've been right here. But I didn't. I could only watch. She looks happy, Mark said, nudging me again. Even if it's not with you. I nodded, swallowing the ache. Yeah, happy. My voice was quiet, almost like a secret. I just wish she noticed me the way I've noticed her. Every single day. Mark clapped me on the back. Then stop wishing and start being seen. That's all I'm saying. I looked at him, then at her laughing with Josh, and forced a smile. Maybe someday, I said. Maybe someday. And I turned away, heart heavy, but determined. Invisible today. But not forever. She's joking about me again, I muttered under my breath as I stepped into the crowded cafeteria. My tray felt heavy in my hands, though it was mostly salad. Mark leaned over. What now? She said my invisible crush would probably never notice her. My teeth clenched. In front of everyone. Mark whistled softly. Ouch. That's rough. Rough? Mark, that's humiliating. Everyone's laughing at me. I want to disappear. I scanned the tables. People were pointing, whispering. My stomach sank. Just, ignore her, Mark said, trying to sound casual. It's just a joke. A joke. I laughed bitterly, the sound hollow. She does this every time I even glance at her. Every time I try to talk. Every single time. A few of my classmates glanced over, smirking. Hey, man, she's just teasing, one of them said. I shook my head, voice low but sharp. Teasing? That's your idea of teasing? Making me the punchline? She didn't mean, Mark started, but I cut him off. No. She didn't mean to humiliate me. She meant it perfectly. I slammed my tray down. People jumped slightly. She knows exactly what she's doing. Everyone knows I like her. Everyone sees me. Mark's hand landed lightly on my shoulder. You don't have to take it seriously. I've been invisible for years, I said, my voice shaking. Years. And every time I show up, every time I care, it's nothing. I'm nothing. Why am I even trying? You're not nothing, Mark said softly. You're loyal, you're smart, you just haven't been noticed. I looked at him and shook my head. Smart? Loyal? Mark, she doesn't care. She doesn't care about me at all. I turned and walked to the far end of the cafeteria, trying to avoid her gaze, but she saw me anyway. Of course she did. She smirked at Josh across the table and laughed like the world revolved around him. And then I saw him. Alex. He leaned back in his chair, perfectly composed, exuding confidence I didn't even know existed. Dark hair slightly tousled, a smirk that said he owned the room, and eyes that calculated everything. I didn't know him yet, but something about him made my chest tighten. Mark leaned closer. New guy, huh? Yeah, I muttered, eyes fixed on Alex. He's different. Confident. Smooth. Dangerous, almost. Dangerous? Mark raised an eyebrow. I clenched my fists. Everything I'm not. He walks in, and people notice him. She notices him. He doesn't even try. And I've been trying for years. Mark frowned. Maybe he's just lucky. Lucky? I whispered. No. He's calculated. He knows what to say, how to move, how to make people see him. Everything I've ever wanted to be. And there he is, standing in my cafeteria like he owns it. Mark shook his head. You can't compare yourself. You've got your own way. I laughed bitterly. My own way? My own way has made me invisible. And now I'm sitting here, humiliated, watching him, watching her, like I'm nothing. Like I never existed. Someone snickered behind me, and I whirled, face red. But I didn't say anything. What could I say? Words had failed me for years. I glanced at Alex again. He caught my gaze for a brief second, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. I looked away, heart racing. Why did that little glance feel like a challenge? Man, I don't know how you deal with her, Mark muttered. I'd lose it. I can't lose it, I said quietly. Not yet. I have to. I have to figure this out. Figure out why she never sees me. Why I've always been invisible. Mark frowned, clearly not understanding, but he didn't press. He knew better than to argue with me when I got like this. I took a deep breath and looked around the cafeteria. Everyone laughed, ate, and went about their lives. She was at the center, oblivious to me, or maybe intentionally blind. And there was Alex, calm, untouchable. A mirror showing me what I lacked. I clenched my fists. One day, I whispered. One day, I won't be invisible. One day, she'll see me. And I'll see her, too, but on my terms. I turned to Mark, forcing a smile. Let's go. I need to think. He followed quietly, sensing that whatever had just started inside me wasn't going away anytime soon. I saw them together before I even reached the park. My chest tightened. Her laugh, that careless, perfect laugh, filled the space between us. And he, my former friend, Ryan, was leaning in, grinning like he owned her attention. I muttered under my breath, of course. Of course it's him. Mark, who had walked with me silently, frowned. What's wrong? What's wrong? I snapped. Look at them. Look. I pointed, voice trembling. Ryan. My friend. And her, she's. I don't even know what to call it. Flirting. Laughing. Laughing like I don't exist. Mark's hand went up defensively. Hey, calm down. Maybe. No, don't maybe me. I growled, stepping closer. I've wasted years. Years being invisible. And now she's right there, right in front of me, acting like I was nothing. And Ryan. Ryan knew. He knew how I felt. And he's doing this anyway. Mark hesitated. That's rough, man. Really rough. Rough? Mark, this isn't rough. It's betrayal. All of it. Every bit of it. I sank onto the bench a few feet away, fists tight in my lap. My stomach churned. I helped him with his grades. I stood up for him when he got in trouble. And now? Now he's the one laughing with her while I swallowed hard. I've been nothing to her all along. Mark crouched in front of me. Look, I get it. I really do. But you can't let it eat you alive. Maybe this is your chance. You know. To finally what? I spat. To finally change. To finally be noticed. Yeah, thanks. That thought's already in my head, Mark. Already in my head. You've got fire in you, he said softly. You just need to do something with it. I stared at him, breathing heavy. Fire? No. This isn't fire. It's anger. Anger, betrayal, and pain. My voice cracked. I clenched my jaw. I can't just forgive this. I can't just stand by while she flirts with him, laughs at his jokes, and acts like I never mattered. Mark leaned back. Then, do something. Start small. Change yourself. Show her, show everyone, that you're more than the invisible guy. I laughed bitterly. Change myself? And what, magically she'll notice me? She's never noticed me for years, Mark. She doesn't even know what she's lost. That's the point, he said quietly. Maybe she has to see it before she gets it. I sat in silence for a long moment, watching them. Her hair caught in the sunlight again, that smile, my chest ached. I can't let this continue, I whispered. Not just with her. Not just with Ryan. I can't let myself be invisible anymore. Mark nodded. That's it. That's the start. Figure out what you want. Then go for it. I clenched my fists, staring at the ground. My mind spun. First, I'll change myself. Subtle at first. Nobody will notice yet, but I'll make them notice eventually. She won't know what hit her. A figure approached, older, calm, Mr. Hayes, the teacher who always had a way of cutting through the noise. He stopped beside me. You look like you're wrestling with a storm, he said softly. I looked up, startled. Yeah. I guess you could say that. He leaned slightly closer, voice low, cryptic. Storms shape you. Don't let them drown you. Let them teach you. And remember, sometimes the person who ignores your worth will realize it too late. I blinked at him. Too late. My voice was almost a whisper. But, how do I know if it's too late? You'll know, he said, a faint smile playing on his lips. Just make sure when you get there, you're standing strong. I watched him walk away, words sinking deep. Standing strong. That's exactly what I needed. Not just for her, not just for Ryan, but for me. Mark nudged me. Well? Feeling inspired? I shook my head, smirking bitterly. No. Feeling furious. But, maybe furious is a start. We sat in silence, and I made a silent vow, this betrayal wouldn't break me. It wouldn't define me. It would fuel me. And one day, she'd see. And one day, she'd regret ignoring me. I don't even know where to start, I muttered to Mr. Hayes, fidgeting with the strap of my backpack. He raised an eyebrow. Start with one thing, then the next. You can't fix years overnight. I know, I said, frustration rising. But it feels like I've wasted so much time being invisible. I don't even know who I am anymore. Mr. Hayes leaned back in his chair, calm as ever. You are exactly who you are. But you've got to let people see it. Stop hiding behind walls you built yourself. Start small. Join something new. Show a little spark. I frowned. Join something new. Yes. Clubs, projects, activities, anything that puts you where people notice you, but also where you can grow. I hesitated. My mind flickered to her. Would she notice me? Or would I still be the quiet, invisible me? But then I felt a spark, something I hadn't felt in years. Determination. Okay, maybe I can try, I said quietly. But, how do I start? Pick one thing that scares you, he said. Fear is the best teacher. I nodded slowly, a plan forming in my head. By the next week, I signed up for the debate club. I figured arguing with words would be safer than trying to fight physically or stand out blindly. Wait, you. Mark said when I told him. Debate club? You're going to stand up and speak in front of people? I shrugged. Yeah. Why not? I'm tired of waiting in the corner. Mark grinned. Well. I guess you're officially terrifying now. Terrifying is better than invisible, I muttered. The first day was humiliating. I stumbled over my words, stuttered, and turned bright red more times than I could count. But by the end of the session, a few classmates came up to me. You're actually pretty good, said Lila, one of the more outgoing students. Yeah, I didn't expect that, another added. I smiled faintly, hiding the flush of pride. Thanks. I'm trying. Mark nudged me. See? People notice you when you do more than just exist. It was subtle, at first. Small glances from her across the room. A tilt of her head when I answered a question confidently. I didn't let it thrill me too much, I refused. This wasn't for her. It was for me. Over the next weeks, I worked on more than just speaking. I changed how I carried myself, how I dressed, how I interacted. I started hitting the gym after school. I learned to sit up straight, speak clearly, and make eye contact without hesitation. Whoa, Mark said one afternoon after I returned from the gym. You're different. I laughed, a little awkwardly. Different isn't bad, is it? No, he said. It's noticeable. In a good way. Even Mr. Hayes noticed. You're taking your advice seriously, he said one morning. Keep it up. Growth like this isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional. People can sense it. I nodded, thinking of her. Of course she noticed me differently now. Her eyes lingered just a moment longer when I spoke. But I ignored the thrill. I focused on the sense of pride that came from knowing I was finally creating the person I wanted to be. One day, Lila pulled me aside. "I like how you've changed. You seem more confident. People are noticing. It's kind of inspiring." I smirked. "Thanks. It's not easy, but I guess it's worth it." "Definitely worth it," she said. "Keep going. You're going places." Her words hit me differently. I realized that it wasn't just about her, her attention, her acknowledgement, but about myself. I was finally standing tall, finally speaking up, finally being someone who couldn't be ignored. Mark caught my eye across the cafeteria and grinned. "Look at you. The new you." I felt a rush of satisfaction but didn't let it consume me. Not new. Just, finally me. Still, I couldn't deny it. There was a thrill in the subtle attention she gave me. A glance here, a smile that lingered a moment too long. Not enough to make me reckless, but enough to remind me that my efforts mattered. "Careful," Mark whispered later. "Don't let it go to your head." "I won't," I said. "But I will let it fuel me. Every step I take, every word I speak, it's mine. And if she notices me along the way, fine. But this is about me first. Always me first." Mr. Hayes' words echoed in my mind, "Storms shape you. Don't let them drown you." I was ready. Small steps, quiet power, subtle change. Invisible no longer, but careful. Not yet for revenge. Not yet for her. This was the beginning. And one day, everything would align. "She's talking to me?" I whispered to Mark, my voice tight as I watched her across the cafe. Mark grinned. "Well, that's a change." "She's looking at me like she's trying to figure out who I am," I muttered, shifting uncomfortably. Like the quiet guy she ignored for years suddenly became this. Mark nudged me. "Careful. You've got the power now. Don't let it mess with your head." "I know," I said, forcing my jaw to relax. "I'm not going to let her see everything. Not yet." Just then, she approached, her steps casual, almost teasing. "Hey," she said. Her smile was light, effortless. I looked at her coolly. "Hey. You've changed," she said, tilting her head slightly. "You seem different." I shrugged. "Maybe." I didn't want to give her more than she deserved. "People change." She laughed softly. "I guess I didn't notice before." "Noticing now?" I asked quietly, letting just the hint of challenge slip into my tone. "Maybe," she said, shrugging. "It's interesting." Mark rolled his eyes at me. "See? You're already making her think." "I'm not here to make her think," I muttered. I'm here to exist on my terms." She glanced at her phone, then back at me. "So, what have you been up to? I mean, besides the debate club." "You're really different." I leaned back slightly, arms crossed. "I'm working on myself." "That's it." "You're working on yourself," she echoed. "Seems like a lot of work for one person." "It is," I said flatly, letting the words sting just enough. "But worth it." Her eyes flickered with curiosity, maybe even admiration, but I refused to soften. "Anyway, I wanted to see if you'd like to join me and a few friends later. Just hang out." I paused, mind racing. Part of me wanted to punish her. Part of me still ached with longing. "Maybe," I said slowly. "I'll think about it." She smiled, not realizing I'd just rejected her casually. "Okay, cool. Just let me know." She walked away, and I felt a strange mixture of satisfaction and ache. Mark leaned closer. You're cold. You like that, don't you? I have to be, I said quietly. If I don't, I'll fall apart. If I let her see me, all the old feelings, all the hurt. I can't. Mark frowned. Yeah, I get it. But man, this is going to be hard. It already is, I muttered, thinking of how many years I'd waited silently, hoping, longing. Now, she was near. Close. But far. Later, I ran into Alex again. His smirk was effortless, and I hated that I couldn't hide the tension he caused me. So, she's noticing you now? He asked casually, leaning against the hallway wall. I don't know, I said tightly. She's interested, maybe. Or just curious. Either way, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter? He raised an eyebrow. Man, you're smoldering on the outside, but I can see the storm inside. Storms are for controlling, I said sharply. Not for showing. Alex laughed softly. Sure, sure. Keep telling yourself that. I walked away before he could push further. My mind wouldn't stop racing. Her smile. Her teasing. Her obliviousness to the depth of my feelings. The ache twisted deeper when I imagined her laughing at someone else, someone who wasn't me. That evening, my sister peeked into my room. You're different, she said, folding her arms. People notice. Mom noticed. Dad noticed. Even your friends are treating you differently. I shrugged, not meeting her eyes. I'm working on myself. She smiled knowingly. Good. Just, don't forget who you are. Or who you were. I haven't forgotten, I said softly. I'm learning to be better. Later, Mark called me. You're walking a tightrope, man. One wrong move, and she's gone. Or worse, confused. I'm aware, I said. Confused isn't the point. Control is. I'm controlling myself. My reactions, my feelings. She's close now, but she's far. I like it this way, for now. And if she notices the real you, he asked. Then she'll see exactly what she ignored, I said quietly, letting the words hang like a promise. I replayed the day over and over in my mind. Every glance, every word, every subtle flicker of attention she gave me. I felt my chest tighten with longing, but I pushed it down. Cold, calculated, and cautious, that was my new armor. And part of me, the part that loved her, still whispered that maybe one day, she'd understand everything I'd endured. The other part, sharper and angrier, whispered that when she did, it would be on my terms. Close yet far. That was exactly where I wanted her. And maybe, just maybe, that distance would make her see me like she should have years ago. I watched them from the sidelines, heart taut but my expression unreadable. She was laughing at every joke he made, Ryan, of course, completely unaware that I'd seen the messages he'd sent another girl last night. Mark leaned beside me, whispering, "You're sure about this?" I nodded slowly. I'm sure. I've got to let her see the truth. Not me. Him. Let karma do its work. You'll be patient? He asked. You're not going to. I'll be patient, I said firmly. This isn't about me. Not yet. It's about the lesson she needs to learn. I approached them casually, greeting her with a polite nod. Hey. Hey, she said brightly, oblivious. You're looking confident today. I shrugged, keeping my tone neutral. Thanks. Life's changing. Ryan's grin was sharp, too practiced. Hey, man. Good to see you. Likewise, I said flatly, letting my eyes linger on him longer than necessary. As the conversation went on, I let small truths slip into casual remarks. Funny how some people care more about attention than honesty, I said lightly, not looking directly at him. Ryan blinked, caught off guard. What do you mean? Oh, nothing, I said smoothly. Just that intentions tend to show themselves eventually. She frowned, confusion flickering across her face. Wait, what are you talking about? I let a faint smile play on my lips. I just find it interesting how quickly people's masks slip. You know, showing who they really are. Her eyes darted between us, and I could see suspicion grow. Perfect. You're being cryptic, Ryan said sharply. Stop implying things. I shrugged again, casual as a summer breeze. I'm not implying anything. I'm observing. That's all. Mark leaned closer. You're doing this perfectly. Don't rush it. I nodded subtly. Thanks. Patience is the key. Later that evening, she approached me privately, her voice quieter than usual. I don't understand. He said things about me, to someone else. Is that true? I held her gaze, stoic. I've seen it. He's not who you think he is. She took a step back, eyes wide. But I trusted him. I thought he liked me. You thought wrong, I said simply. Not everything is what it seems. Tears welled in her eyes, but I said nothing more. Silence is more potent than any words I could offer. Let her process. Let her feel the weight of disappointment firsthand. I can't believe this, she whispered. I feel stupid. You're not stupid, I said quietly. You were misled. That's different. She looked at me, searching, maybe hoping I'd say something more, but I stayed calm, letting the space between us carry its own lesson. She needed to realize it herself. Mark nudged me later. You're cold. But it's working. She's realizing her mistake. I exhaled slowly. That's the point. Let her feel it. Let her understand what she lost, without me saying it outright. The next day, Ryan tried to confront me. Hey! You can't just. I cut him off with a calm, measured tone. I didn't do anything. I just pointed out facts. He clenched his fists, fury bubbling. Facts. You're twisting everything. I'm not twisting anything, I said evenly. Truth has a way of revealing itself. You've only sped up the process. He glared but said nothing more, storming off. I watched him leave, satisfaction quiet but deep. Later, she approached me again, this time hesitant, unsure. I don't know what to say. I feel betrayed. I understand, I said softly. It's painful to realize someone you trusted wasn't genuine. I didn't expect. I mean, you weren't involved in this, were you? Her voice trembled. No, I said firmly. I've just been watching, learning, letting the truth unfold. Karma isn't my tool. It's natural. She swallowed hard, emotions swirling. I guess I see it now. I should have noticed. I should have. I shook my head, letting the pause stretch. You're realizing it now. That's enough. You don't need my pity or explanation. You need understanding. And this is your lesson. She looked down, biting her lip. I think I understand. Good, I said quietly. That's all I ask. Mark watched, impressed. You're unshakable. I have to be, I said. Not for her. Not for him. For me. I can't let the past control me, and I won't let their mistakes define me. I only guide the unfolding of truth, subtly. Later, alone, I reflected on the events. The weight of years of invisibility, betrayal, and longing had finally started to shift. She'd begun to see, yes, but too late to undo her own errors fully. My heart didn't race. I didn't gloat. I simply observed. Patience, strategy, and calm. That was my power now. Not loud or brash, but quiet, deliberate, and effective. And as she felt heartbreak for the first time because of her own misjudgment, I realized something important: vengeance isn't always action. Sometimes, the greatest reversal is letting life reveal itself, and standing apart, unshaken, watching the world correct itself naturally. She appeared suddenly in the hallway, arms crossed, brows furrowed. "Why are you like this?" she asked, voice tight with frustration. I raised an eyebrow. "Like what?" "Cold," she said sharply. "Distant. It's like you're deliberately shutting me out. After everything." I paused, letting the words hang between us. "After everything, you mean after years of ignoring me?" Her eyes widened. "I didn't know," she protested. "I didn't see it. I never meant to hurt you." "Never meant to hurt me?" I echoed, voice low. "You laughed, you flirted, you acted like I didn't exist. And now you want to claim ignorance." She took a step closer. "I was stupid. I didn't realize how much you cared." "You didn't realize?" I asked, tone sharper. "Do you have any idea how many times I was there? How many times I helped, stayed quiet, held my tongue?" Her shoulders slumped, and she whispered, I didn't know. I swear." "I know you didn't," I said, softening slightly but keeping my composure. "But that doesn't erase the years. That doesn't change how invisible I felt. You can't just apologize and expect it to vanish." She bit her lip, eyes glistening. I see now. And I want to make it right. Can we talk? Please." I studied her carefully, measuring every word. "Talk about what?" "About how you ignored me. About how you never noticed me when I was right there." "Yes," she said, almost desperate. I was blind. I see it now. I see you." I let out a slow breath. "You see me now. That's late, isn't it?" She flinched. I know. But I can't change the past. I want a chance now. To understand you." "You want a chance," I repeated, eyes narrowing. "After all this time?" "Yes." Her voice cracked. "After all this time, I finally understand. I'm sorry for hurting you." I shook my head slightly, a mix of anger and longing churning inside me. "Sorry doesn't undo years of being invisible. It doesn't fix the nights I spent watching you laugh at someone else while I stayed quiet. You want to know the truth? I'm not sure I can forgive you yet." She stepped closer, reaching for my arm. I don't want you to forgive me yet. I need you to see that I care now. I finally see you." I pulled back gently, keeping my tone steady. "I see. You see me now. But seeing isn't enough. Actions matter, not just words. I've changed. I've worked for me, not for you. And I don't want to go back to being invisible." Her eyes filled with tears. I understand. I should have noticed. I cut her off, voice firm. "Enough. Stop apologizing. Stop begging. Just acknowledge what you lost and what's here now. I'm not yours to claim. Not yet. Maybe never. But I will not be crushed again." She shook her head, struggling to find words. I just I wish I had known sooner. I. I wish I had seen you for who you were. And I wish you had, I said softly. But wishing doesn't change reality. I'm not bitter, not exactly. I've learned to protect myself. To choose who I allow close. And right now, that's me. Not anyone else. Not even you. Her shoulders sagged. I thought I could fix this. I wanted you. And you missed your chance, I said quietly, letting the words land. I wanted you too, once. But now. I want me first. I'm stronger than I was, and I won't go back. She trembled, swallowing hard. I'm sorry. I really am. I know, I said, tone softer but resolute. And that's enough for now. But don't expect me to just fold into your arms. Not after everything. I don't expect it, she whispered. I studied her for a long moment, my heart tightening despite my resolve. The part of me that had loved her, the part that still wanted her, clawed at my chest. But the stronger, wiser part, the part that had fought to become visible, confident, and unbroken, kept me steady. Remember this, I said finally. Feel the weight of your own mistakes. Learn from it. And maybe one day, you'll understand why I chose to protect myself first. Her lips trembled, and she nodded slowly. I understand. I turned away, walking down the hallway with measured steps, feeling the echo of my own heartbeat. She watched, longing and regret etched on her face, but I didn't look back. Not yet. Because I wasn't hers to claim anymore. Because I had learned that the strongest love isn't always about holding on, it's about standing tall, even when the person you once adored is right there, so close, yet just out of reach. I saw her across the campus courtyard, her usual bright aura dimmed. Conversations I once ignored now carried whispers, some judgmental, some indifferent. I didn't move to her. I stayed on the edge, observing quietly. Mark leaned beside me, smirking. Looks like the world's catching up with her. I nodded, keeping my expression neutral. It's not my doing. Just, consequences. A familiar voice called out behind me. Hey, Alex, did you hear what happened with Rachel? I turned slightly. It was one of her classmates, laughing lightly. No. What happened? She tried to pull that stunt at the club, and everyone ignored her. They don't even care anymore. She's small now. Humble. Or at least, that's how she seems. I let the words sink in. Satisfaction tickled my chest, though I refused to let it dominate my thoughts. Karma doesn't need my intervention, it unfolds naturally. She's learning, Mark said softly. Finally. I exhaled. Learning, yes. But it's not my place to gloat. I've got my own path now. I noticed her approach a little later. She was hesitant, careful, trying to reclaim attention she once commanded effortlessly. Alex, can we talk? She asked, voice low. I glanced at her, letting my calm mask settle fully. Talk about what? Her lips trembled. I know I hurt people. I made mistakes. I want you to know I want me to forgive you. I interrupted gently, tone steady. You want me to erase what you did, the way you ignored everyone who cared? No, she whispered. Not erase. Just. I'm trying to understand. I want to be better. I see that now. I nodded slightly, keeping my voice even. You're seeing, yes. That's good. But seeing is not enough. People feel actions. Words don't always matter. She bit her lip, looking down. I know. I'm learning the hard way. That's what life does, I said quietly. It teaches lessons, sometimes painfully. You'll remember these moments more than anything I could ever say. I wish I could fix things, she admitted softly. With everyone, with you. I let a long pause stretch between us. Not everything can be fixed. Some things exist only to remind us who we were and who we've become. I'm not angry. I'm calm. Observing. And I've realized that my focus is on growth. My life, my path. You're part of it only if you're genuine. She swallowed hard. I understand. Mark nudged me lightly. You're untouchable now. Calm, collected. She's feeling it. I have to be, I said. All these years, I let myself be invisible. I won't let that happen again. Not for anyone. Later, a few classmates passed her, whispering. One laughed quietly. She really screwed up this time, huh? Another shrugged. Yeah. Guess karma's finally catching up. She overheard it and froze. I saw a flicker of humility cross her face. I didn't step forward. I didn't comfort her. Let her feel it. Let her experience the consequence of her own choices. Mark whispered, You're not even doing anything, and it's working perfectly. I smiled faintly, the first genuine smile in hours. That's the point. My life isn't about revenge. It's about witnessing truth, while keeping my own heart intact. She approached me once more, quieter this time. Alex. I never realized how much I took for granted. I see now. And I'm sorry. I nodded, letting my voice remain calm, controlled. Apology noted. I accept it, not because I need it, but because I understand. People make mistakes. They grow, or they stagnate. Your choice is yours. Mine is mine. Her eyes glistened with tears. I hope you're happy. I am, I said softly. Because I'm focused on my own life. My growth. My future. And that's what matters. She nodded, understanding dawning fully. I see it. I see you now. And I wish I had known sooner. You would have, I said gently. If circumstances were different. But the truth is, everything unfolds in its own time. Your pain, your humility, it's real now. That's what counts. As she walked away, I exhaled deeply, feeling a strange lightness. Years of longing, invisibility, and heartbreak were no longer chains around my chest. I had grown, silently, patiently. Mark clapped me on the shoulder. You've changed. You're untouchable. I'm not untouchable, I said softly. I'm present. Observant. Calm. And finally, free. That's the real power. I watched her from afar, the weight of her mistakes settling over her, while I moved forward, steady and unshaken. Karma had done its work. I had done mine, focusing on me, my growth, my life. And for the first time in years, I felt fully at peace. I found her waiting outside the old cafe, the one we used to pass every day on the way to class. She looked, smaller somehow, stripped of her usual confidence, and I felt a strange pull in my chest. Not longing. Not vulnerability. Just a reminder of the years I'd endured. Alex, she started, her voice trembling. I stayed quiet, letting her words find their own path. I need to tell you something, she said finally, swallowing hard. I've been blind. I didn't see you for who you were, and now I realize. You realize what? I asked quietly, keeping my posture steady, my eyes calm. That I've wanted you, all along, she confessed, voice cracking. Every time I ignored you, laughed, flirted with someone else. I cut her off gently, but firmly. I know. Her eyes widened. You know. Yes, I said simply. I've known for years. I knew how much I loved you, how much I was invisible to you. And I've known what it felt like to watch you care so little. Tears welled in her eyes. I can't. I don't know what to say. I've hurt you so much. I was arrogant, careless, selfish. I held up a hand. Stop. Don't list your sins. I know them all. Every careless word, every laugh at my expense, every time I was invisible. I know. And I've survived. I've grown. That's the point. I see that now, she whispered. You're incredible. You've changed, you're strong, confident, perfect. I tilted my head slightly. Perfect? I repeated softly. I'm not perfect. I've learned, I've worked on myself, I've earned my peace. And yes, I'm stronger, but not for you. I did it for me. She stepped closer, a shaky hand reaching out. Alex. I love you. I've always. I can't lie anymore. I want you. I need you. Please. I looked at her hand, and then at her eyes, searching for something, validation, guilt, desperation. I didn't flinch. I didn't rush. My heart didn't pound with old longing. It beat steadily, calmly, with quiet confidence. Do you understand what this is? I asked slowly. This isn't love that survived. This is regret. You're drawn to what you couldn't have before, and now, you want to claim it. Her lips trembled. It's not regret, Alex. I swear. It's love. Real love. I see you now. I finally see you. And I want to be with you. Only you. I shook my head, a faint smile tugging at my lips. Do you know how many times I've wished for this moment? How many nights I stayed silent, watching, hoping, and dreaming? She bit her lip, tears glistening. I know. And I'm so sorry. I wish I had realized sooner. I know, I said softly. But wishing doesn't undo the past. And I've learned something important, I'm not defined by how others see me. I'm defined by who I am, how I grow, and how I choose to live. She nodded, swallowing hard. So, what will you do? Will you forgive me? Be with me? I exhaled slowly, letting the quiet stretch between us. I could forgive you, yes. But forgiveness doesn't mean returning to what we had. It doesn't erase years of pain, invisibility, and neglect. I've changed, fundamentally. And so have you, but for different reasons. You're seeking what you lost. I'm guarding what I've earned. Her voice was barely a whisper. So, you won't take me back. I shook my head gently. Not in the way you want. I can care, yes. I can feel compassion. I can acknowledge your growth. But I am not yours to claim. You cannot rewrite the past. You can only witness the person I've become. And I will continue to walk forward, free from the chains of longing and regret. Tears streamed down her face, silent sobs that shook her shoulders. I understand. I finally see what I lost. I can't fix it. No, I said softly. You can't. And that's okay. You don't need to. Your lesson is clear. Your regret, it's yours. My peace, it's mine. She looked at me, her gaze searching, desperate for some sign of reconciliation. I gave her only a calm smile. I'm proud of who I've become. I've grown beyond hurt, beyond waiting for validation, beyond unrequited love. And I will continue to grow. Alone or with someone deserving, yes, but never as someone who makes me invisible again. She swallowed hard, nodding slowly, voice trembling. I see. And I'm sorry. Truly. I know, I said quietly. And I hope that seeing this, feeling this, helps you grow as well. Not just with me, but with everyone you encounter. Mark, who had been watching from a distance, whispered, "You're incredible. Calm, composed, untouchable." I looked at him, eyes steady. "Not untouchable," I said softly. "Present. In control. Free. That's the difference." I turned back to her one last time, voice gentle but firm. "Remember this moment. Remember how it feels to lose, to regret, to see the consequences of your actions. I will remember too, but only to remind myself how far I've come." She nodded silently, wiping her tears. I understand. I'll never forget this." I exhaled slowly, feeling a strange lightness in my chest. Years of longing, invisibility, heartbreak, and growth had all led to this, my choice, my peace. I didn't run to her. I didn't plead or falter. I simply stood tall, knowing that my life, my self-respect, and my emotional maturity were mine to protect. She turned away, walking slowly down the path, and I let her go. Not with bitterness, not with anger. Only with quiet confidence, calm acceptance, and the knowledge that I had finally claimed my life, and that karma, in its own way, had been fulfilled. And as I watched her fade into the distance, I realized something profound: growth, self-respect, and inner strength are the most satisfying victories of all. I had won, not her love, but myself.